Now Jason, if we didn't have this iron tubing out in the bush, could we use things like elderberry or some other kind of a hollow stick as the same kind of tube in a primitive situation?
Oh, most definitely. You could use anything like that. A piece of river cane actually would work really well. I've actually taken small pieces of river cane, split them down lengthwise, and then just taken some artificial sinew or some thread or whatever I had handy and available and just wrapped it back up real quick. You're not going to get a whole lot of air loss through that, because it's already going to be a natural split. It's going to go right back the way it was. Really tends to work out pretty well. The only problem with that is you are going to burn the end of it. It's going to slowly get shorter as you go. Okay, we're to a decent heat. Now just bear in mind this is not going to get hot as the forge gets. It's just you're never going to get that same kind of temperature because we're never going to get that much airflow. But to start with, we're just going to take our multi-tool, grip, and bend that up. And if that wasn't already heated, we would not be bending anywhere nearly that easy. And just take a little rock, tap that down. Now just for some aesthetics, punch that down. Now let's make sure that our piece fits through here, and it does really well. You can actually close this off a little bit more. So probably one more heat on that's going to do it. Now for this, my rock, we're just going to point this down a little bit. So get your rock. Let's get that back in the fire and get it back hot again. Okay, we've got our base piece back hot again. Now we're going to actually use this piece to set in and just bend that over a bit. Get it started. Now, take a bit of that bend out. Even that up a hair. And there's your first piece of the portable one-man cook set complete. In real time for this was probably only, beside from getting the fire good and hot, was probably only 2 heats, which really is in between heats is only going to take an extra maybe 2 minutes. So this really isn't that labor and intensive project. That's just brought down to a little bit of a point to make it a little easier to skewer whatever you're going to cook with. So as you can see, kind of down here in the shade, you can really see where that red's coming through. Now that's about the color you're going to be wanting to look at to try to work with this. So all I'd done was just set it over the corner of my little rock anvil here and pound it down. And then once I got that to about a 90, you come back and push this in some more. Then we'll set it on this piece and just carefully tap down. If you miss, that's why you wear gloves, like I just did there. And now we're done with that piece. Now what we've got is our 2 pieces, one with a little eye bent into it, and then with the hook on the end, and that end we just kind of pound it down to a little bit of a point. You could spend more time making that a finer point if you wanted to. We take and put these in. That's why we made sure they fit. And if you can look at that, it locks it in place there. So you can set this in the ground. And you have your fire right here, and your little piece of game meat or whatever you wanted to heat up could be right there. Skewered, done. If you have a little pot you wanted to hang from, just turn this around and just change your angle. And your pot will hold on right there. I hope you enjoyed all this part of it anyway. And I want to thank Dave and Tamara both for inviting me out to their home and to do this and get a chance to show you guys this. But before we finish, we want to grab the last bit of his knife, now that it's been tempered. And if you can remember back from the pictures, you can see the color striations that are coming through here. I hope that shows up really well for you. Once you start to see that little bit of a rainbow effect, and where it's a little kind of a strawed yellow color is what it's called, and that's now tempered. We just tilt our bucket back and cool that off. Just wrapping this as tight as I can as I go. Okay, we've got our last wrap all the way up. Now just to give them a little extra buffer, pull that in. Take the end of our cord and pull that in there. Originally you handed me a file, and there's your knife back.
Well, thank you very much, Jason.
You're welcome.
Well, Jason's done a very fine job today, and we want to thank him very much for being with us, for demonstrating some of these techniques. Today we've learned how to forge a file into a knife. We've also learned how to make a primitive forge in a campfire, as well as finish this knife up. He's put a nice little handle on it. And again, this is going to be a pretty nice woods chopper. Not bad for a knife made in an hour and a half. Again, I'd like to thank Jason Lowery very much. And if you like what you're seeing, go out to Jason's website and let him know you appreciate him, and even order a knife if you want one. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. We appreciate your viewership, we appreciate your support, and hope that you're having a great day.